All right, folks. So on the agenda this chilly Friday morning is going through our lumber, and I'm looking for like 2x6s, 2x8s, anything that's big enough that I can use to put together my, the start of a raised bed. We're going to be putting hopefully at least 2 new raised beds outside at the bottom of the garden to be used for sweet potatoes. They just seem to do a lot better from our experience in raised beds. So I've got to get through here and try to find enough, hopefully, to make 2 4-foot by 8-foot beds. If not, hopefully I can at least do 1 for right now, but I'd rather use what we already have on hand versus going to the store and purchasing more. So I'm going to go ahead and get in here and see how much I can find to make what I can do. And then we're going to be cleaning out another, my other stall that has storage stuff in it. And we're actually going to need to put it in here. For the time being, it is so wet. We had so much water. I have got to get some more of the goats out of the wet. I need to look over their feet, make sure they're doing okay, because hoof rot is a really big concern here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and wish me luck. Okay, it is cold. It is cold out. My nose will go red. My nose is. All right, so I'm getting water for Samson and Marshmallow. They are in the other barn. So we're getting them all set up. And then tomorrow I'm going to trim Marshmallow's feet after they've had a chance to dry out a little bit. And then get them trimmed up and put medication on them because she is having a little bit of separation around the edges. I want to avoid any issues of hoof rot. Samson says he doesn't like being incarcerated.
Get back.
All right, let me in. Samson.
Get back.
Move, dingus. All right, so they have their hay, they have feeders on the wall, lots of nice straw. So they should be high, Marshmallow. You are a pest. Alright, we are starting my first raised bed, but we had to take this apart on this side because we did it wrong. So now we get to take it apart and adjust it and then put it back together on that side. We also have to do that corner because we didn't overlap them correctly. We also got the horse run stripped out pretty well, but if you look, well, we have to reset all of the mats once everything dries out. But if you look, you can see, and we're expected to get more rain. There is no point in me putting more bedding in here right now with how wet it is, saturated the ground is. And there is a good 6 to 8 inches of gravel under these mats. So I'm just not going to waste the bedding. Every day I'll just come in here and strip out any manure that they come in and poop and try to keep it as clean as possible until the rain stops, and then we'll add a nice big pile of bedding. They do have, I call them hay islands, from the round bales that they can go out and stand on and lay on if they want. So, they've got one dry spot to go to. But trying to get things done. I mean, even in here, in the aisleway, it's just saturated. And this is Mr. Obnoxious. Rose, if this was not Gabe's Nubian weather, I'd tell you could have him. He's obnoxious. He was a bottle baby, so that's probably the reason why he's so obnoxious. Alright, after we got all of that done, I went ahead and got a shower, cleaned up, and we are heading out for a event for the youth wrestling that Gabe is in. They are actually going to be recognizing the youth at the in-school duel that they're having at our local high school. And then my oldest will also be wrestling this evening. So we're going to be heading out there. It's going to be a really busy evening. We'll take you with us. Let's go.
Parker Harvey, Karen Jarrell, Abby Kelly, Ben Kelly, John Kelly, Rubenstein.
Woo, Manny!
Lincoln Smith. Robert Ball III. Gunnar Thompson. Knox Thompson. Noah Winters. And Lando Whittington. The coaches for you are Rob Hall, Pete Murphy, Andy Kelly, Graham Rose, and Andy Spiller.
I got it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a huge round of applause for all of our new wrestlers. They are our future superstars.
We're gonna get a big picture. Okay, so we just got home and we haven't even had dinner. It is 9 o'clock at night. We had wrestling. Gabe was being announced at the high school wrestling tournament for the youth wrestlers. And then my oldest son was also wrestling. So we had a really late night. I didn't get a chance because I was busy outside all day to cook dinner. So instead of going out to eat, stopping at McDonald's or anything like that, we are going to make chicken tacos. This is chicken that we canned from chicken that we raised. So I'm going to pop this open, heat it up in a skillet, add some homemade taco seasoning, and then we're going to make some homemade flatbread, which if you want to know how to make that, yeah, everybody says yummy. If you want to know how to make that, you check out Gabe's Homestead Journey because he shows you how to do that on his channel. Alex, how's the hay going? Well, quit ice skating and come finish your hay job. So we're all trying to finish up the barn chores.
And here's mine.
It is really cold and the kids have a friend over visiting
Named Andy.
who gets to help. So I've already got most everybody fed. I just have to get Riley and Sadie.
And the horses.
Kids are feeding the horses. So I'm gonna go do
Where's the one feed?
Riley and Sadie and Ramona and Calypso that are out here in the paddock because Samson and Marshmallow are in the barn. We'll come out when it warms up a little bit more and take care of Marshmallow and Samson's feet. And I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do with that and show you what issue. It's minor at this point for Marshmallow on her feet, but in wet conditions. And I'm not positive about other breeds. I know they swear the Spanish, which is what Ramona is, has awesome feet. But boars can sometimes, especially in chronic wet conditions, have a tendency to get hoof rot. And while she doesn't have hoof rot at this point, she is having, good morning, she is having some separation along the edges. And we need to address that now before we start really having some issues. Getting so big. Oh, I forgot. I didn't update you guys or tell you guys about Ramona. So I did some research. Sorry about the camera. All right. Well, hang on. Let me tell you guys in a minute. Let me get the dogs fed. Come on. Come on, you two bouncy goof butts. Even the dogs are getting extra food because it's cold. They need extra fuel and they get a higher protein feed anyway. Go eat your breakfast. All right, so back to Ramona. Ramona was sold to me and I was told she was Spanish. So I started looking more into Spanish goats. I kind of bought her on a whim with her baby on her because I really wanted the baby. But I've actually, after speaking with the person that sold me her, I found out that she actually was out of Texas, Stonewall, Texas to be exact. And it's the Weinheimer Ranch, which is one of the most well-known Spanish bloodlines. I have found out that her coloring is consistent. I am waiting from the Spanish Meat Goat Association for verification based on her confirmation, hair coat, coloring, everything, whether or not she is in fact a Spanish, and then we're probably going to be doing DNA testing. I also found a breeder about a half an hour from me that breeds the Weinheimers, and I sent them her information, and they said definitely she matches the coloring and build and everything for a Weinheimer, so they're pretty sure that she is, you know, that's really what I bought. So we may wind up not breeding her to a boar, which is what the previous people did, and it's very common to cross these two. We may wind up just breeding her to a pure Spanish so we can get some Spanish babies out of her. The boar people really like the Spanish goats because they are fiercely protective mothers. They're very maternal, very good mothers. I actually learned that it is not uncommon for a Spanish goat to allow her baby to nurse up to 6 months without the mother losing condition. And they don't fill out like the boars do. So if you look at her baby is fat and round, okay, because she's half boar. And you look at my other boars, they're the same way. If you look at Ramona, you can see that her sides are sunken just a little bit. That's okay. She's not underweight. They're just always going to look like that. They don't bulk up like a boar meat goat does. And they are more of a brush goat. You know, that's what they were brought over for back in, I think it was in the late 1900s to early, the early 1900s. And then they actually were one of the main meat goats sources for ranchers until the boars were brought in, which the boars are actually originated from Africa. So we're really excited to find more out about this lady, and we'll give you guys an update here in the near future on, you know, what she winds up with, if we get it authenticated, and whether or not we're going to be able to breed her to a Spanish buck. What are you doing? Why were they were taping your arms? Okay, I was in my room folding clothes, and I come downstairs, two children taping each other up. Really? So, yeah, they're taping each other's arms up. Boys. I think we need to go send them out in the sunshine, even though it's only 20 degrees. They need to burn off some energy. We need to purchase to be able to enclose this. So right now we are looking at about approximately 85 feet long. All right, bring it back up this way. All right, now I want you to go over there to the edge of the dirt. Okay, that's better. Hang on, I gotta finish winding it. Once we get the dirt leveled out. Okay, so we're looking at 62 feet this way. So 85 by 62. 85. We just got back from Lowe's, and we are, I managed to find a shelf marked down to be able to start my seeds on. So we're going to work on getting it put together. Maybe I can talk the kids into helping me.
I'll help you.
You're going to help me? Alright, let's
Yep.
All right, there we go. Did you figure out what those were for? Are those for the bottom?
Yeah, you put them on the bottom.
Okay, we'll put those on the bottom.
And then there's just a ton of extras.
And there's a bunch of extras.
I guess
Where's that go to?
The extras.
Well, we don't have earthquakes, so we don't have to do the safety thing, I guess. But
Maybe you could.
yeah. All right. So we have our shelving unit right in front of the window, and I'm gonna look into getting some lights for these lower shelves because they won't get enough sunlight. These ones last year seemed to get enough, so hopefully they will. If not, I guess I'll have to come up with some lighting for these as well.